well, I feel more optimistic now than I did 10 minutes ago because I'm neither one of you.
And that is why people listen to our podcast.
Welcome to In Moderation, the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
Okay, score. Yeah, let's do score. All right, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll make sure we keep an eye on this.
Thank you. And if it's bad news, just don't bring
Randomly
it up.
in the middle of the podcast, touchdown!
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna have. I don't even know how to watch it. It's quarter. All right, we're 5 seconds into the game. Forget the podcast. We're just gonna do a
How are we down by
40? Damn it, Bill. So. Rob, if you didn't know, Bills stands for Boy, I Love Losing Super Bowls, because they've been to, I think, 5 Super Bowls and won exactly 0 of them. And I think they're one of 4 teams to never win a Super Bowl. It's great.
It's pride of Canada. Doug Flutie was our quarterback for a while.
Yeah.
We had Flutie Flakes and everything, and they
had a lot of things going for them except the score.
Yeah. I mean, and those 4 Super Bowls, those really shaped my childhood. Just getting used to disappointment.
Bring you up to stomp you
great
down.
Skill, yeah.
So in Canadian terms, it's like every Canadian team in the NHL not winning the Stanley Cup for the last however.
What? Yeah. I'm going to assume that reference makes sense. I don't know. Hockey's cool, but I never really got into it.
Well, it's cool because it's on ice.
It's cold.
You have to have heaters in the stands for the crowd.
The hockey season is roughly 11 months long.
It's like baseball. Holy shit. It's just as soon as it stops, they're like, well, next week is training camp. God damn. All right. But I guess, more games is good, whatever. That's what's kind of nice about football, though, is you get these 16 games. Or is it 17 now? They changed it to 17.
It's 17 now.
Yeah, it's 17 now, yeah. So, and then playoffs. I kind of like about it. Anyway, we don't have to talk about football.
We don't have to worry about that. No, we don't want to talk about football.
The whole podcast, at least. We can
Not American football, anyway. Now, on to Canadian football.
Canadian football, that's what everyone's paying attention to.
This will be our most listened to podcast if all we do is talk about Canadian football. Oh, shit. That's great.
Is this the podcast? Is this now the podcast?
I think aren't we recording? Yeah.
I started recording
we're recording already.
Okay. Welcome to In
Good
Moderation.
luck editing this shit.
No, we leave it all in. We leave it all in. If you're just joining us now, which you should be, we just go for it. It's a mess. But this is why people like us, okay? Because everyone's life is a mess.
Do they like us?
Ours. Yes, they do. Because we are a mess and we don't pretend to be something we're not, okay? We just fuck it. This is what we've got. You know how many comments I get from people I like that your house is shitty and a mess because so's mine. I'm like, good. Let's have a shitty house together. That makes sense.
So you've really cornered the people. Your audience is just people who don't have their lives together.
100. I've never heard my entire account summed up so well. I think that's exactly what it is. It's just you know what? Let's all fumble through this together. Speaking of fumbles,
and not win
Thursday night football game.
Oh no! Please.
I don't know. It would be great if there was a football. I don't even have the game up. We've also been checking in on the Thursday night football game. So when this podcast comes out, it'll be the next Thursday night game, and it'll be all very confusing. Anyway,
so when does this come out?
Next Thursday. So
next Thursday,
the people listening already know the Bills lost. They already know.
Oh no. Hey, we have to record 2 versions of this podcast. One where they did well and one where they just sucked.
I think, we should put more effort into the one where they sucked because I feel like there's a better chance of that one.
What a game. They did great. Wasn't that amazing?
The Bills coming back. Oh, that's all we need for that part. Just on the rare chance they win. Oh shit. Anyway, Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm doing so well or terribly.
Just give both options. Oh, I love it.
Oh man.
Well, anyway, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit for the people that don't know you?
Hi, I'm Zach Anner, and there you go.
That's all we're
getting.
Yeah.
Let's see.
A really short
I'm an
intro.
author, a YouTuber,
yes.
TV writer, sometimes fitness guru. I don't know.
I believe you have the championship heavyweight belt in wrestling. Supermodel. Don't forget supermodel.
Super. I really have. I think I've cornered the market for supermodels with cerebral palsy and lazy eyes. It's just me. And that's it.
So see, I always talk about on this podcast, having a low bar is so important. I make sure I implement that in my life as much as possible. So you want to be able to step over it. So as long as you're the only one in competition for something, you're always winning. That's what you should take away from this episode.
That's I gotta be honest with you. I didn't do a whole lot of research before I said yes to this podcast, but I feel like I'll fit right in here.
Yeah, that means you've done just as much research. We just go in, we chat, we talk, we complain about the things that annoy us. I think that's kind of the most important part of our podcast, you know? What do you think, Rob?
Well, that and the long, I guess the long incessant rants by Liam are the complaining.
Oh, of course.
So,
well, that's pretty much all I complain about.
Half our audience is just here to listen to Liam rant.
I have to call out Liam. Liam, I was 5 minutes late, and Liam was 20 minutes late.
Listen, normally I'm even later, okay? I had to get some oolong tea. I just got a new kettle. It's got different buttons for different temperatures of tea.
Buttons?
It's amazing.
What
I'm getting
are you
fancy.
doing that you're learning a new appliance when you're supposed to be on a podcast?
Because I'm fumbling through life, Zach. That's what I do. I mean, you're seeing me do that in real time.
I mean, that's the reason most people start podcasts, I think. Nobody starts a podcast because their life is going well.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean,
you nailed it.
Listen, but since we are like we hit like number 2 on like fitness podcasts or something, I don't know. It was like
in the US.
You were number 2 on fitness podcasts?
I think so.
First of all, this is a great way to learn that this is a fitness podcast.
We pick whatever category gives us the best rating, okay?
Exactly.
So, exactly.
I gotta say, you both look pretty fit. It looks great.
And looks are what matters.
That's what I've always been told. Do you feel healthy? Shit. Is everyone feeling good?
I am feeling good at least 10% of the time. And as long as those 10% of the time is when I'm doing this podcast, that's what matters. That's what matters. Yeah. So,
I feel good 90% of the time as long as I'm not paying attention to my body. And then when I check in, I'm like, oh, I got to get that fixed.
So give us your best tips for not paying attention to your body.
I think it's really... okay. So I think it's really about you gotta be on your phone at least 18 hours a day.
Good.
That's healthy.
Okay. Do you sleep for the other 6, or is that just like?
I mean, I sleep, but I keep the TikToks going.
Brilliant.
Smart.
Brilliant.
Okay, so always be distracted. Don't pay attention to your body.
Always be distracted. Never check in with yourself. And don't go outside. Stay inside. No sun.
Would you recommend people like developing agoraphobia, like the fear of like outdoor spaces and stuff?
No, I think that's Because that's always going to be on your mind. And you're not going to be able to watch TikTok if you're just.
If you're constantly working.
It's just, yeah. You got to be. You got to have a free mind. You got to have a positive attitude that doesn't be so positive that you decide not to make any changes because everything's going great.
Okay, so just like kind of. Put yourself in the matrix, right? So like just completely think that everything's going well. You don't pay attention.
I wake up every morning grateful for everything going on in my life, and I say, that's perfect. No need to change.
Well, you're waking up in the morning. You're already doing better than me and Liam.
When do you wake up in Canada?
I wake up at 4 p.m. Yeah.
This podcast is late. It's like 8 o'clock where you're recording this.
Yeah, it's 8:30. This is like my wake up time. I woke up at 6 p.m. today. Let's not even get into that.
Are you a musician? Is that what that soul patch is for? What's going on?
No, the soul patch is for hate. I need to draw in as much hate, and that's great for the algorithm. So that's why I rock the soul patch.
I see. We want to say controversial things on this podcast.
Rage bait is the way to be successful on social media and to show how messed up your life is, as I stated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to meet both of you. It's just I feel like we've really connected. Like I feel more optimistic now than I did 10 minutes ago because I'm neither one of you.
And that is why people listen to our podcast. They go, well, at least I'm not one of these schmucks, okay? So it's not that bad. But, there's all these people, like influencers that are unattainable. Like, I get up and I do 8 hours of meditation. Fuck all that shit. Like, you can't live up to that. There's no way. You compare yourself to us, you feel much better.
Really, you're better by comparison. That's the whole point.
Exactly. Low bar.
Oh, man.
I have to check in. I didn't just ruin the whole vibe and purpose of this podcast.
I will say, I want to raise your spirits a little bit more. The Bills just scored a touchdown. 7-0 right now.
Whoa!
7-0 Bills Dolphins.
Go Bills!
All right, maybe we will have to film the part of the podcast where they do well. Fuck, damn it.
Oh, man, so we got to start over? We had so much gold.
All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast In Moderation, the #1 Bills fan podcast there is.
We're no longer fitness. We're now a football podcast.
We're a football podcast. Fuck. I mean, can we do better as a football podcast? Like, can we get #1? I
will tell you that there's overlap because when I was watching the Bills lose to the Chiefs in the divisional round of the playoffs a few years ago, I had my Apple Watch on. And my heart rate got up to 156, and I was not doing anything except watching it.
Oh, I definitely feel you on that.
Watching the Bills is cardio, whether you like it or not.
If you have a favorite football team that's not very good, I'm a Raiders fan, so I feel that. Browns, all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean every game's kind of like that. Yeah. But anyway, I guess maybe we should talk about things that aren't football, and we can always come back to it.
Yeah, we can talk about hockey.
We'll come back to it. Let's talk about hockey. What's going on with hockey?
No.
Rob, explain why people like hockey for everyone.
It's basically Canada's way to get out our aggression after watching things like U.S. politics.
Oh, see, I never thought...
What are you doing watching U.S. politics, Rob?
God.
You guys force it on us.
Do we?
I can't scroll on TikTok without seeing U.S. politics anymore.
Do you not see Canadian politics on your TikTok? Is there no Canadian politics?
Basically none, no.
Wow.
Very polite.
That's interesting.
They're not allowed to campaign for a long time in Canada, are they?
People from other countries, let us know if you just see American politics. I want to know. Or do you see politics from your country, or is it just always American shit? Because that would check out.
Canada, it's just Rick Mercer walking down the street giving hot takes. That's all it is.
Oh, that was a great reference.
I don't know.
Liam's sitting there like, I have no idea what that was. But that was a great reference.
Rick Astley? Is that who you said? I know him.
No, Rick Mercer. The way that I would describe him is, I would say, because Norm Macdonald came to the States, he's like he's got that sort of Norm Macdonald accent, but he's always given like political takes. He was on a show called This Hour Has 22 Minutes. And it's like a daily show in Canada. Am I explaining this right, Rob?
Pretty much, yeah.
But so basically what you'll learn, Liam, is that Buffalo is basically Canada, and we got a lot of Canadian television.
Sounds like it. Wow.
And so I probably have more in common with Rob than I do with you, except we probably have similar facial hair potential, you and me.
Can you grow a neck beard? Because that's my main question.
I was just saying, I got the neck beard.
That's what we were talking about while you were getting tea.
Awesome.
It's such a I don't understand it. I thought eventually I would get to the rest of the face. I was so excited through all of puberty, and now that I'm 40, I'm like, it's probably done. There's probably not.
I'm right there with you. I've tried multiple times. I got my driver's license taken once when I was trying to grow it in, just because I wanted to have a picture of me at all times. And it is full on Amish. Like, you know, I could put on the suspenders, raise a barn, and I would fit right in.
Yeah, you might not be able to have this podcast, though.
I can't like some Amish now use like electricity. There's loopholes and shit. We'll figure it out. I feel like
I've seen Amish people on TikTok talking about Amish life.
Exactly. So yeah, they can clearly use technology. So I could have a podcast. I'm sure. I'll just record it on like.
I gotta turn my phone off. I'm so sorry. God.
You're very important.
I'm sorry. I'm so important, guys. Hold on. Let's take that again. Let's roll it back. You were saying
we don't roll anything back. We leave it all in.
Roll it back for the edit. Rob, cut that in the edit. So you were saying Amish, right? You're an Amish man with a podcast.
Amish man podcast. Yeah. We could be number one Amish podcast, like easily.
Yeah, I think so. If you get a listener, I think you'd be number one.
Rob, put us in the Amish category. See where we end up. If we're not number one, I'll be very sad.
Done. I'll Photoshop Amish beards on all of us.
God.
Put a barn raising in the background.
Wait a minute. You could just give yourself an Amish beard now. You don't need to Photoshop. You just need to style yours, Rob.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Smart. Listen, if you turn your beard into an Amish neck beard, I will grow mine out. That's the deal I will throw out there. I'm just saying.
So, if we did that, okay. Should we come back and record another one 3 weeks from now, and we just focus on our neck beards, and then we have a conversation?
We'll check in with the Bills then, and also maybe right now. Oh, no, 7-0 still. Just checking, making sure.
Oh, good.
Anyway, good.
Well, at least they're not losing yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, thank God.
Well.
So anyway, fitness podcast.
Yes, fitness podcast. I want you to tell us about we're 20 minutes into the podcast. We want to hear about your fitness routine. We haven't even talked. All we've talked about is Bills, hockey, and American politics.
All right. Well, honestly, I got to be honest with you, because I did a fitness YouTube series called Workout Wednesday, which was
I love Workout Wednesday.
I've definitely seen some of them.
Thank you. I haven't done it in like 10 years consistently, right? So basically my fitness routine right now is getting on and off of toilets with my own body weight, right? And I've noticed now that I'm 40, I feel like I need a fitness routine, but I don't have one. Like, I'm still living the dream of adulthood that I had when I was 10 years old. And I said, when I'm an adult, I'm going to have all the ice creams in the freezer. And instead, you know what? Instead of a crisper drawer where you're supposed to put vegetables and stuff,
What do
I
you
just have candy. It's just a candy drawer.
Okay. What candies are you keeping in the fridge? I feel like a lot of them get hard. Like, I don't want cold, like, Skittles. That's going to be hard.
No, you're not putting... Are you insane?
Yeah,
Skittles in the fridge?
That's what I'm saying. It sounds crazy
what do you,
to me.
You think I'm
please
a
educate
fool?
me. Please educate me on candy fridge etiquette. I'm ignorant on this topic.
It's chocolates in the fridge.
Okay,
chocolate's
so
gotta
like
go
Hershey's?
in the fridge.
I don't really like Hershey's. How are you on with Hershey's?
I'm not a big fan of Hershey's,
Good.
even though like I do have a lot of like Kit Kats in the fridge right now.
That's fair.
And Reese's and Kinder Bueno. They're the Kinder answer to those Ferrero Rocher hazelnut things, and those are delicious. But
are Kinder Surprises still illegal down there?
All this to say, I came on this podcast because I need a fitness routine, and I thought maybe two wannabe Amish men could be the right fitness coaches, because I found that like I used to be able to just kind of feel good all the time, or relatively good, minus the whole, cerebral palsy business and everything that comes along with that. But now I just have random aches and pains places that I didn't even, like, you sleep on a shoulder and then all of a sudden your shoulder hurts forever.
I feel like that just kind of comes with aging. Rob, you're 55. Doesn't that kind of doesn't go with the territory?
I do get a lot of aches and pains, but it's usually when Liam's around.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure you get other ones besides.
Emotional distress.
Manifestations. They might. Well, Rob, you're a personal trainer. Okay, listen, all I do is my own dumb thing. You personal train here.
If you want, I can bring everybody on the podcast down a little bit. I have a bummer thing I can talk about. Is that would that be good?
I mean, we talk about anything and everything. Well, we bring people up and then we bring them right back down.
So I used to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, but then I went to the gym with my father 3 or 4 times a week. And then my dad last year, well, he was sick for a few years, but last year he passed away. So I had the best fitness coach because he was the only, person who would like take me to Mighty Taco after working out. And so now I'm looking for a fitness coach who is that invested in my personal fitness journey, and also doesn't charge anything. And I feel like my dad was the only one that fit that bill.
Those are some tough requests. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you're in Buffalo. So like there's that as well.
Well, now I'm in Los Angeles. So
okay. I didn't know you were in Los Angeles.
I'm from Buffalo.
Okay.
But I've brought the accent and the pessimism to the West Coast.
Fair enough. That's where you're doing all your fancy business deals.
Yeah, fancy Hollywood business deal.
That's what the phone call was about.
It was.
What was Ryan Reynolds trying to ask you?
He was asking me to be wheelchair Deadpool. Just not.
If you say no, I'm going to be the most disappointed I've ever been in my entire life.
It needs to be a thing.
Wheelchair Deadpool? I mean, I've already done wheelchair Batman, but wheelchair Deadpool would probably sell a little bit better in this market.
I feel like for wheelchair Batman, the grappling hook has extra benefit.
I mean, you have to get a grappling hook that can carry an extra 350 pounds.
Right.
And just like, I feel like the risks of having a power wheelchair as you're trying to scale a building It's
Okay.
just
That's true, but also you
That's
have
fair,
the
yeah.
wheelchair that you can attach it to, and so you have just more carrying capacity, I feel like, for a more powerful grappling hook.
now that I think of it, you're absolutely right. There could be no downside to this whatsoever.
Wheelchair Batman gets there long before regular Batman. It's because of the grappling hook.
Yeah, wheelchair Batman has to take the bus.
But I'm picturing, because wheelchair, but like Batman always has the cool gadgets though, right? So I feel like he could make like a real awesome wheelchair, if you had like what's Bruce Wayne money. You know what I'm saying?
If I had Bruce, yeah, I feel like that's what I would invest in if I was a billionaire. Just make the wheelchair better.
Yes, exactly.
A couple of rocket thrusters on there, grappling cannon.
Oh, snap. That would be awesome.
I'm using a wheelchair right now that climbs stairs. So that to me is just it's as close to a Batmobile wheelchair as you can get, I think.
It's at least a great start. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Does it work
fun.
well? I'm curious about this now. How well does it work?
It's called the iMod, and it works pretty well, except you have to be like trained on it for 2 days to use it, because otherwise, it's not safe. You'll just tumble down the stairs. So you got to know how to use it. The training, my girlfriend passed the training because you can either assist or do it yourself.
Okay.
And when you're in the chair, and you're just the user, you have to pull yourself up on a railing, and the wheels go over themselves to bring you up the steps. And I told them on day 2, please don't pass me. I don't think I'm safe.
And
because
what was
you
their response to
also
that?
have to
Were they
pay
like,
attention.
absolutely, you weren't passing anyway?
They were like, you were that's so cute that you thought we were going to pass you. and so I did not pass. But you know what? It's been pretty cool, because it's meant that I've been able to go to my girlfriend's 3rd story apartment and just kind of see the world in a way that I never thought I would see it. So I almost had, if they had passed me, I would have gotten a great upper body workout. But since I can't use it anymore, can't even do that. So again, we're back to zero on fitness.
Interesting. Well,
so what would you recommend? Looking at me from the chest up, workouts that I could do.
That's pretty much all I look at people from, chest up.
That's great. Yeah. I always have to say to people, I'm down here. Stop looking at my face.
I'm so shy in real life that I'm usually looking at people from the ankle down.
Ankle down. That's just Canadian.
Are you on the apps, Rob? Are you dating? Are you married?
I am not dating. I am occasionally opening the apps. I have a cat. I have a cat.
You have a cat. Well, may I suggest that if you are on the apps, just stop posting only ankle pics.
Oh, is that what I've been doing wrong?
It depends on the app, really.
I gotta save that for the OnlyFans.
There's some apps you can figure out. I think do pretty well with that. But as far if you're actually asking, Rob, what would you recommend for upper body? Me, what I love that I feel like doesn't get enough credit is bands. Man, I think
there's I agree with the bands, and further than that, there's actually some gyms that are equipped with wheelchair accessible cable devices, where you actually can get your wheelchair up in between these two. They're essentially cables that are kind of.
Yeah, I used to do the cables, but I used to stand in between the cables and stretch my arms out and pull in. It was very.
It's a good stretch.
It was a great stretch. It's very much. You ever see that movie Three Amigos, where he's trying to get out of the prison and like gonna make it? Nobody's seen this movie. Fine,
there's someone listening
Rob,
right now
cut
that's
it out
like,
of the edit.
There's one person that's loving this reference right now.
They're just smashing the like button right now. Yeah.
I used to do the cables a lot. But you know what the big problem for me going to gyms, it's not actually the machines themselves and the workouts. It's that when I'm transferring to the machines, if I fall off the machines, the risk of hitting my head on some huge metal thing is pretty high.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So, I mean, if you don't have to transfer, I would say, like, honestly, especially if you're working out at home, which a lot of people prefer to do, they either don't have access to a gym, they can't afford it, whatever, they don't feel comfortable, whatever the reason may be. I think bands are incredibly underrated. One, they're cheaper.
Yeah.
You just can get a set of them for like $30, and they have a bunch of different, lengths or widths or whatever. It makes them more that makes it harder to use, and it's just easy to move them places. Like, you don't have to, especially if you're someone who is dealing with a disability, you don't have to carry a heavy weight somewhere and use it. The bands are very light. You just have to basically attach it to something that is relatively immovable, and you can get a pretty good workout in with bands.
Okay. All right. This is great. So I'm just going to go to Amazon right now.
Yes.
Or wait, who's the sponsor of this show? Do you have
Only
a band
fans.
sponsor? Okay. Only bands.
Only bands.
Only bands.
That's the sponsor. Use code in moderation for 69% off at Only Bands.
So, Rob, you're really a fitness coach?
I am.
Yes, he is.
So, where do you coach?
Everywhere.
He goes
Everywhere.
where he's needed.
I teleport wherever I'm needed.
He's the Batman of the fitness
do you meet
industry.
up with people on Zoom, or what's the deal? You just kind of...
I do, yeah. I'll do online training, meet up with people on Zoom, or I do in-person training in my area.
Well, how would you start to assess my fitness needs? I'm sorry if I'm taking over this podcast, but I don't think Liam's going to do the work.
No, people want it taken away from me as much as possible, but I fight it tooth and nail.
To start with, we'd of course need to find out what's accessible for you, like how you're able to hook up bands, because that would definitely be one of your best options. Or if possible, there might be a gym in your area that does have these wheelchair accessible machines.
If you're in
I
LA,
wish more people would install these wheelchair accessible machines.
I think there's one gym that I know of that is like an accessible gym, but it's like an hour and a half away, and that presents its own issues.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll look into bands. And do you have any? So my diet is 80% chocolate.
Yeah, right. We from the fridge. Do you use the fridge for anything else, or is it just chocolate?
I mean, occasionally I'll get like a bag of carrots in there.
That's awesome. I love that.
Do you eat them though? Do they just sit there and rot, or do you actually eat them?
I eat them until I really need more. I need more information about the science of when you should stop eating the carrot.
You should stop? Is this a problem where you don't eat enough, or you're eating way too much? And I'm very confused.
I think it's like I get weary of when there starts to be a slime introduced.
Oh, and the carrots start to get a little slimy.
I don't know if I should be eating those. Maybe back to Kit Kat.
This one's
Kit
starting
Kats
to
never
get
let
to
you down.
slime. I think it's better safer to go with Kit Kat.
I would love to be healthier in theory. I think, I would love to start paying attention to my diet more.
Well, then I think. I mean, listen. That's what we are for. Is not being your worst. That's our slogan. And so I like that you got chocolate. That's great. You know, we've got some fats. We've got some tasty food. That's awesome. You like carrots. That's fantastic. Do you eat the carrots on their own, or do you dip them in something? What's the deal?
I eat the carrots on their own.
Because you don't like...
when I'm eating the carrots, it's always with the urgency of, fuck, I better eat these carrots. They've been in here a while.
Well, I think you need something quick to dip it in. So do you like a hummus? Do you like a guacamole? Do you like a dressing of some type? What do we got? What do we got?
I don't want to do I have a complicated relationship with dips.
Okay.
So I would love. So basically, the things that I'll eat that are in the healthy sphere are carrots.
Okay.
Raw almonds.
Okay.
I'm trying to drink more water. No. Not you don't want to do seasoned nuts.
Okay.
I like to just. I like to eat as many almonds as I can, so that it starts to taste like an almond croissant, right? So you got to mush it up to get the amaretto flavor. Right?
Okay. I'm learning many things.
You're so concerned.
I'm learning so many things.
You didn't bat an eye at the fridge full of chocolate, but when you heard about my almond consumption techniques...
Yes. Fridge full of chocolate makes total sense to me. But this almond croissant amaretto situation is very interesting.
You just have to chew the almonds enough, so that they're baby bird food consistency, and then you'll get there.
Okay.
And then,
do you add? What about this amaretto situation? Do you just drink a little amaretto with it? Or are you adding it in?
No, I don't. I just imagine. I fill in the blanks with the power of my mind. And then also, let's see, other healthy things. Blueberries, I eat those.
Awesome. I love that.
Yep, that's great.
But it is mostly pizza and candy and milkshakes. So I don't want to give a false impression. I would love to change it.
That's totally fine. We all have. I love all of those things as well.
You say it's totally fine, and we've just met and everything. But
it's all fine.
I know in my soul from how dehydrated every pee I take is. I know that there are changes that can be made.
Yes, but everyone has to start somewhere, okay? And that's you have to start somewhere. That's what's important, and this is what we're doing.
This is okay. Everyone has to start somewhere, and I'm starting with
a fridge full of chocolate.
And my pee is orange.
Yes, so that is somewhere.
So I'm just saying I'm coming clean on this podcast because it's a fitness podcast.
I'm finding there's not maybe enough water in this situation. Do you drink the hydrogens and oxygens?
I've started drinking water, and by that I mean I purchased a water bottle and now I have a Brita, and I'm drinking more water than I drank. I've probably drank more water in the past month and a half than I did in the past year.
That's a step in the right direction.
One of the issues is, I don't like to have to go to the bathroom a lot because there's a lot of transferring, and it's a bigger hassle if I'm out in public. So I got very used to just not drinking water, especially if I'm on set or filming something and don't want to slow things down. But now I'm trying to hydrate because I think, as you get into your 40s, you want to stay hydrated. You want to stay moisturized. My skin is like a toaster strudel, very flaky. I mean, just kind of...
Like a real toasted one. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's something that I need to work on, but I think you're right. Everybody starts their fitness journey somewhere. and I am starting it from.
How is the water situation going? Are you liking the water? You can always try.
I like the water. I mean, not compared to any other beverage.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We maybe, like some people, have you tried the Circle water? My wife likes those. I don't know if you've seen these.
Circle water?
Circle water.
What is that?
So
explain. Is that a sponsor?
It's not
of the
square water.
What?
Currently, it is not sponsored. We are not sponsored by Circle, but some people I've actually found really like it. Basically, it's a water bottle, and it has a little like container in it that basically gives you like this. It's supposed to give it a taste without actually having really anything in it. You basically smell these things.
It's not like LaCroix, is it?
So it's the water itself. Let me look this. I gotta look up Circle
I got
water.
into that for a while until I realized that it tastes like the melted ice of something you would have enjoyed drinking.
Right. No, it's LaCroix tastes like you drank water and someone whispered peach in a different room. That's what it basically. But this one, it has these little these little cartridges, and you put it in there, and it gives it this smell basically, and it's supposed to give it a good flavor. My wife really likes it. I mean, and I've had people comment saying they really enjoy it.
We get it. You have a wife. You're so lucky.
I tricked someone into loving me for long enough to say yes. That's what's important in life.
And now, how have you never tried your wife's favorite water?
I mean, because I just drink too much diet soda is the problem.
He drinks nothing but diet soda.
That's pretty much
because he's got all the fancy flavors.
Yeah, I'm a zero soda.
I am taking for a diet soda. Oh, zero.
The zero sugar sodas are. I mean, so many. Just so many in my house. When it's buy 2 get 3 free, do you expect me to not buy 15 of them or whatever? Like, come on.
Buy 2 get 3 free.
It was that's what it was the other day, and I was like, this is the greatest thing that's happened to me in months.
What grocery store is this?
This is what you could name as a Kroger, or I think in your area it might be a Ralph's. Do you guys have Ralph's or no?
We do. We have a Ralph's, and So I worry about that grocery store. It's like, why are you giving all your stuff away? I would do a welfare check on Kroger.
I think Kroger is doing okay. I think they're one of the biggest grocery store chains, so I think they'll be.
Meanwhile, in Canada, we pay $10 for 1 can.
It was $10. Yeah, they were each $10, so it was $20. You get 5 cases, which right now is like crazy cheap. So yes, I bought a lot. It's zero sugar. Have you tried any of the zero sugar soda? Have you?
Yeah, but I feel like the regular soda it tastes good, but it's kind of poisoning you, and then the zero sugar soda tastes like poison, but it's better.
Which one of these poisons have you had the displeasure of trying? I'm very curious.
I feel like the whole pitch when Coke Zero came out is, my God, it tastes just like regular Coke. And I think it only tastes like regular Coke if I was on a ship and I was in the ocean for 6 months and I was only drinking like dehydrated seal blubber in beverage form. And then I came back to the land and I hadn't yet reconnected with Helen Hunt yet. And then they were like, here's your Coke. And they gave me a Coke Zero. Okay. I would drink it and be like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so that's what you're saying is you need to put yourself in that situation.
I'm saying that if I was deprived of all beverages for a good 6 weeks, I might be able to go to a Coke Zero and be like, that's
so
just
I think
like
our next
Coke.
goal is to find you some dehydrated seal blubber. Now, I'm not really sure where to find that, but I'm sure we can make something happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're looking for sponsors, so...
Only bands and dehydrated seal blubber will be our next sponsors.
.ca, Canada's best beverage.
Well, I would encourage you to maybe try some other ones. I'm saying that A&W Zero is very good.
A&W Zero?
Oh, it's so good.
A&W Zero?
The root beers, A&W root beer
At least
Zero.
it exists around Liam anyway.
Yes, that is my wife's favorite. If you didn't know, my wife, who is my married to,
I'm still
that's
stuck
her
with the
favorite.
diet.
Give us one detail about this person that you are supposedly married to.
Well, her name is April Dawn, and she was born in April at dawn. And her first thing she told me when we met was like, "You can't pick your parents," was her quote, I think, to me. And I was like,
wow,
that's fair.
I already like this person because they sound fake right off the bat, and I feel like that's been
that's what I searched
the
for in a
uphill
spouse.
battle of their entire life.
It's fake. It's fakeness. That's what I value most.
Yeah.
See, instead of lying to people, I just say I have a cat. It's that simple.
Yeah, you have a cat and you have some very sexy ankles, and you're looking for your ankle soulmate.
Oh. Well.
You're out there somewhere, ankle
first,
soulmate.
let's check the score before we get back to okay, it is 10-7 Bills still. So they're up by 3 still. Okay, that was important. Second quarter. Just wanted to make sure we check in on that. They're still up. We're good. We're still on the positive side of the winning on this.
We're going to
podcast.
record this entire positive thing, and just as we're about to end, they're going to start losing, and we'll have to redo everything.
It's fine. I tend to. That's where my positivity comes from. When they're up, I stop watching, and then I just assume that they won. I don't watch Bills games live anymore because I don't think it's good for my health. I only watch afterwards.
You just said that's how you get your cardio.
Well.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. Zach. You're going to get your bands. Okay, you're going to get your TV. You have the Bills game on. That way you've already got your heart rate up, and you can introduce some resistance training. You're doing everything at once, my friend. You're getting it all done at the same time.
That's so fun. No wonder this is the #2 fitness podcast.
Exactly. We're giving real advice. Then you go to your fridge, you grab your carrots. They're a little slimy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
It's fine. You can have some chocolate along with that and maybe some blueberries. You said you had a milkshake. Add some blueberries to your milkshake. There you go. That's why you're adding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blueberry milkshake?
Blueberry milkshake sounds good to me. I don't know.
It's great. I'm with it. I love it. I gotta say, I love the vibe of this podcast. First, I wasn't sure when it was just people, the hosts show up whenever they want. Yes. But now I'm sold.
And that's, we wrote people in eventually, and that's what's important. But I like it. Listen, you said you found foods that you like. There's, then that's trying to figure out how to get those like into your diet while still enjoying your drawer full of chocolate. I have a basement full of treats. Basically, what I do is I keep them down there, and then whenever I have to go get something, whenever I want something, I have to go all the way down there and get it. And often I'll just eat a piece of fruit instead because I'm lazy.
Oh yeah, that would be a great deterrent for me. That would be great.
You put them in your basement. You have
stairs stairs are the best deterrent.
There you go.
Yeah, fantastic. That's how we do it.
You put your bands right next to you. You put all your chocolates downstairs. What are you picking?
Yeah, we know that I'm not approved to use this chair.
Yes. You're
gonna have to tie all the bands together, just sit at the top of the stairs and try and lasso them.
Oh, we're back to the grappling hook.
And we grappling hook. As long as we bring it back there, I'm happy. That's great. Oh man. But
this is great. I feel energized. I feel ready to eat a slimy carrot. I gotta remember never to show Rob my ankles because I get real weird about it.
Do you feel ready to write a second book? Because I know you already wrote one book. Maybe we like shameless plugs here.
That was a smooth segue.
Yes, that's all I do.
So, for those of you who don't know, I have a memoir called what's it called again?
What's it called again?
I'm wondering if you actually know.
Oh, he should know because I told him.
You did. He did tell me.
I gave him all the cliff notes right before the episode.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, it did, and it's on my phone right here. But I'm like sitting here going like, at birth.
He's got this. Oh,
something to do with at birth.
So close. I love the research team.
Wait, there's no research, as you can clearly tell.
It's called If at Birth You Don't Succeed.
If at birth you don't succeed. Yes. I like it.
I'm getting, well, here's the issue with the second book. So the first book was the first 30 years of my life. And I put everything that I could into that book. And right now, I'm 39. So I feel like I'm getting close to having a concept for a second book. I have concepts of a book, as Donald Trump would say. But
see, I can't get away from the American politics.
It always works away, and it doesn't matter.
But it's I'm about ready. And because I felt for many years that I didn't have stories left to tell. And now I'm just now getting back into the habit of posting things online, telling stories, and realizing that even those little experiences have value and meaning. So, yes, almost ready to write a second book. Are you ready to write a first book, or have you written a book already?
Absolutely not. I'm barely ready to wake up in the morning. I can't even.
Wait,
there's no way.
Rob, you've written 6 books?
I don't know if you want to call them books. They're not novels.
Well,
but, short stories?
Yes, they're short stories in the form of how to exercise.
Oh, wow. So where can one get these books?
On our podcast website, inmoderation.net.
Inmoderation.net. Couldn't get the .com, huh?
Couldn't get the .com. I emailed the guy and he got nothing back.
Yeah.
And you were like, we're still doing In Moderation. We're not doing In Moderation Pod. We're not going to cave. We don't care about a .com.
No.
And if we go to inmoderation.com, what do we find? Yeah.
No one uses .ca, but
I like Zach is making us plug our own things, and we're trying to make him plug his thing. Why don't we go back and forth, and we tell you what you should plug, and then you tell us what we should plug.
I know what he needs. I know what you need to do. You need to bring back Workout Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it, but you got to tell me what the workout should be.
Deal.
Well, I'm 100% in on this. You get some bands, okay, off the Amazon or only bands wherever you buy it.
I'll get some bands off the Amazon.
Yeah, and then
not from the Amazon, off the Amazon.
Okay, all right. Off the website, not the jungle.
Yes, you don't want tarantulas with your bands.
I want tarantulas with my bands. Fair enough. All right, so I'll get the bands, and then I'll let you know how the workout goes. We'll just film it, and I'll say this Workout Wednesday was a direct response to the In Moderation podcast, where a 40-year-old man with LED lights in his room and a
soul patch
guy who just figured out how to make oolong tea told me I should do this.
Yeah, I've been really liking this oolong tea. Has anybody else heard of this? This is
oh yeah, I'm a tea aficionado.
This is good.
What's the difference between oolong tea and other varieties of tea?
I have no idea. It just tastes good. Like I don't.
It's the way that they
that they
dehydrate
take your time.
it,
this isn't an audio form.
Stuff like that. It's like it's this. I'm pretty sure oolong is the same plant. as green tea and stuff.
Camellia sinensis. I remember that. That's the tea plant.
It's just how they bake it, dehydrate it.
Because green tea, black tea, and white tea all come from Camellia sinensis. It says Camellia sinensis. And I don't know about oolong tea, but like it's just a matter of like how long they roast it and stuff. Like black tea is just roasted longer.
Like the difference between a light coffee and a dark coffee.
I mean, I know you pretty much only drink water, but maybe we can get you in on some tea action over here.
I gotta get in on, I like tea, but tea is also a diuretic. So that's,
Caffeine is a mild diuretic. This is true. It's mild.
So it's mild? Why do I have to pee immediately when I drink coffee? Why is that? Is that...
Coffee. I mean, it depends on how much caffeine is in it. Tea has a little bit less caffeine than coffee does.
Caffeine also stimulates the muscles in your bowel, and some people respond to that more than others.
Mm-hmm. If I could plug bidets on this podcast, that would be another.
Bidets?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love bidets.
I've heard good things. I haven't invested yet, but I've heard good things.
Why not? Why not?
You're making all that TikTok money. Come on.
We're Americans. We get used to wiping our butt with dry paper. It's tough to break the cycle of that.
That's horrible. I mean, I've taken when I'm doing well financially, that's the gift that I get people. I get because that is a true game changer. When I say, once you go bidet, you just can't go back to, I hate going to hotels now because they don't have bidets in them.
So what you're saying is we need to start a petition for all hotels to install bidets.
I'm just saying, get them in your own homes first. Talk it over with April Dawn.
Yes, April. I will check in with April and see how she feels. We got a tall toilet because we're both tall, and she was tired of sitting down so low that we got a tall.
You got a tall toilet?
Yes, we did.
I'm never coming to your house.
Oh yeah, no, it would not be good at all. And it's upstairs. Like right when you come in, you have to go upstairs, and that's immediately.
No,
so yeah, it's a bad situation.
So really, you invited me to your podcast, but you made your actual home as inaccessible as possible.
It's about there. If there was more tarantulas, it would probably be less accessible. But other than that, yeah, we're there.
Wow. Well, I'd say will you at least look into getting a bidet for your,
I will absolutely
your bathroom? Because if I'm going to be making workout Wednesdays, I feel like the least you could do is, pimp out your toilets.
I will look up a bidet on Amazon. You look up some bands, and we'll call it a day.
I'm going to get some bands. See, we're all making progress. I'm meeting you where you are, which is not you're meeting me on my fitness journey. I'm meeting you with a not clean
water thing for your butt.
Yeah, dry paper. I'm still on the dry paper train.
We gotta get you off that train. We gotta just. I like
get you off that train onto the fountain.
Oh man. Well, we've been recording for almost an hour here. I'd love to maybe get to a few things of
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought that this was it. I was like, they don't have very many questions, but fine.
We kind of just ramble, but we've been doing it for a while, and I'd love before we go to get to a few things maybe some misconnections that you get, misconceptions that people have around. So I can't say words. Rob, take over. Man, my fucking voice is
I get it. You want the disability angle. Let's get to it. All right.
We want it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. It would be like talking to Rob and not bringing up the beard.
Exactly. We've talked about that so many times.
I have cerebral palsy, and I think honestly, I use a wheelchair, and I think the biggest misconception that I get on a daily basis from strangers who don't know my work and my life is that life is harder and more challenging than it is. And I always like to say, like, just because there are challenges in my life doesn't mean that it's not a fantastic life, right? So, like, I think there is the misconception, or the sort of default is I'm either inspiring or pitiful, when really I'm just a person going through life.
Love that. And you've been
funny
able
person
to,
going through life.
funny, a very funny person who's inspiring others. That. I mean, listen, you've done a lot. I'm pretty sure you and Rob were born like around the same time, and you've done a lot more than him. So like, that's
not true. He's been growing that thing since his early 20s.
Fine, he has the beard. We'll throw him a pity.
I also have a cat.
He's got a cat.
He's a bearded cat man. We'll give him that. Fine.
Thank you.
But in every other way.
You're doing great, Rob.
He's doing great. And you know who else is doing great? The Bills, who are up 17-7. They're up 10 right now. That's all I'm saying. We've almost ended the second quarter. Had to check in.
This is great. Love this.
But yeah.
I think I've inspired people incidentally, and there in the disability community, there's this thing called inspiration porn, which is basically telling stories of disabled people overcoming adversity for the benefit of making able-bodied people feel good and warm and fuzzy. And I think what I tried to do with like Workout Wednesday and with a lot of my stuff is sort of turn that on its head and say, it's the whole point of Workout Wednesday was to present as a motivational fitness person, but be really bad at everything I'm doing and say nonsense like an inspirational poster that just is, it doesn't even compute, but it sort of makes sense. And what's been interesting about that is, people find it really funny. Some people find it inspiring, but also funny. And I'm okay with people finding me inspiring for the things that I actually do, not just my diagnosis or my condition, right? So I think, if people are motivated, or if people with disabilities look at me and they see a different path for themselves, I'm fine with that. But there is a sort of tendency to look at a disabled person who is achieving a goal and saying, "Oh, they must have overcome so much," and really, like, I haven't overcome anything. Still disabled, and in fact, it's like opened as many doors for me as it's closed. So I think I just have, maybe it's me being 40 now or almost 40, but I just have a whole lot of gratitude for the whole package. And like, it's really shaped my perspective in a positive and profound way. So, that's my take on it now. And I'm sure I'll look back on this podcast in 10 years and be like, what the hell was he talking? Like, but I think the thing is, we've all got challenges. I mean, like, you got that whole new kettle with the buttons that you can't figure out.
I'm figuring it out.
Like, maybe that's your cerebral palsy. I'm not making an equivalency out of those.
I think I might get in a little trouble if I put that on my bio.
No,
but
probably not.
But I like the idea.
There's this she's a girl with Down syndrome, and I really wish I could remember her name. She put out a video, and the message behind the video was essentially, stop telling me what I can't do, instead encourage me to try.
Yeah, I think that's that is the key. That's what my mom and dad instilled in me. Is like they were always looking for what my passions were, and they encouraged those rather than being so concerned about what I couldn't do or what I was struggling with that they missed out on what my personality was. So they were really just encouraging me to find out who I was and what I loved to do, which made all the difference.
And now you're a WWE heavyweight superstar.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the Undertaker. I don't know who's. I haven't watched the WWE since the '90s. I have no idea.
You're a wheelchair Undertaker.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan is just so good, and other people.
Oh yeah. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh yeah. Ric Flair, the guy. I think that's someone. Yeah, those are so good.
Rick Moranis, right? That was a wrestler.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just so important. Just that's what I hear from people a lot. It's just like, hey, you gave me a little bit encouragement to try, because people get so caught up in like little things, and we're just like, hey, at the end of the day, if you're trying, something's always better than nothing. And so stop worrying about like this, these little things, and just do what you can with what you have.
That's right. And I feel like that's the motto of this podcast. Something is always better than nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, we got a few mottos. Check out our OnlyBans. Something's always better than nothing. All that stuff.
Yeah. I think like it is like I love the mentality. All jokes aside, like I think it's wonderful to realize that even if things go off the rails a little bit, if you have goal, like every day is a chance to move the needle in the right direction.
Right.
And every interaction you have a choice to have a positive or a negative one. And like it's okay to not do everything perfectly. It's just, I think the thing that I've realized as I've gotten older is like, I need to be encouraging to myself. It's like, it doesn't really work if you beat yourself up for what you're not doing. If you say like, this body that I live in has gotten me to this point, and we're partners through my whole life.
Yeah.
So I have gratitude for that, and particularly with like fitness, the reason I want to actually pay more attention to it is because I love this life, and my body is what's keeping me here and allowing me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is like enjoying it and embracing this really unique and singular experience of being alive. And it's pretty cool, even when it's hard.
Man, I feel like really fucking inspired right now. I don't know about you, Rob, but I feel like I'm ready to go. I'm terrible at inspirational speeches. We need to get like Zach back on when people are feeling down.
Let's
like, hey,
make a bunch of voice clips of him with inspirational things. Well, that's that's essentially what Workout Wednesday is, right there.
I think we need, man. That's awesome. Love that.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that we got around to like what we were supposed to be doing for the first hour, I guess.
That kind of sums up all our podcasts.
That's pretty much every one of our podcasts. We just come on and want to just like joke and have fun, because that's what life can just beat you up so fucking bad. And Like it's so easy to get caught up in the negative. Like I don't like, even for me, someone like myself who's quite a positive person, I'll get like 100 people are like, yeah man, I really love your stuff, this is awesome, and I get one, like you get one dickhead who's just like trying to bring you down. It's a lot easier to remember the one asshole than it is but you have to wash that asshole away with the bidet as much as you can in order to focus on the positive, what you can bring.
You have to treat the life like it's a bidet. Everything, you just got to wash away all the shit so you can feel clean.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we need a little sound bite of that. But we got to work on an app. We've been talking about that, where it's just like when people are feeling down, you just hit a button and you get little like snippets of this from like the podcast. We'll put that one in there.
That's great. I'm so glad I made the theoretical app.
I want that. So I will put money forward to that. He's just like, hey, I'm feeling down. Where's that bidet quote that I heard to make me feel better?
Nice.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot of extra work for me going through every episode. Okay, got to put that one in. Put that one in. Put that one in.
Put that one in.
But think of the lives you'll change.
Exactly. Oh shit, I love it, man.
Is this awkward pause? Does every episode just end with an awkward pause?
Every episode just trails off until we suddenly go, okay, that's it. Whatever.
We're done. That, or it ends immediately with me yelling about something. It's kind of like 50-50 between the two, I feel like.
Okay. But, is there anything that you want to rant about?
God, I mean,
he could go on about anything.
Yeah, I could. I mean, just so many things. So many things, but you know what? I'll leave that for. Well, I'm gonna do a whole episode of just like Liam rants, and I'm just gonna be like that old guy. What was that guy on 60 Minutes? Like, anybody remember this? And we'll just call it the Andy Rooney episode, and I'll just fucking yell about all the stuff that annoys me, and I'll feel better.
That will be an easy one for me to edit because I'll just throw it up as is.
Let it run, and I'll just yell. Yep. I like that. That's good. So yeah, I won't do it this time around, but yeah. In the future, stay tuned.
Cool. All right.
Oh, man. But, I guess, we should also say before we go, where can people find you for when this Workout Wednesday comes back?
Okay. So, go to zachanner.com, and I think that connects to all my socials.
MrFancyHas.com over here.
.com. Damn,
I didn't have it forever. Right, so there's a story behind this. So my whole career started when I an audition video for a show on the Oprah network went viral, right? And it went viral overnight because of Reddit and 4chan. And
4chan, okay.
Yeah, right? I'm the one positive story to come out of 4chan.
Yeah, it's like one of three, maybe.
I didn't know what 4chan was, thankfully, when it happened. But
good.
As it turns out, my name, when they thought I was a troll because my name is Zach Anner, and when they were looking at it, it said Z4channer, right? They're like, oh, this guy's a troll with his Oprah audition. Okay. And I had no idea, and they thought that I was like trolling and pretending to like be disabled to like troll Oprah or something.
Oh.
And I wound up getting my whole career out of that. So it was a fluke that I turned something from 4chan into a career of positivity.
And it's the most impressive thing I've heard in a long time. Yeah.
So it just random. I shouldn't be here, but because people thought my name was a joke, I am. So it's nice. Sometimes things work out.
And you guys just got to roll with it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I just have to roll with it. Yep. ZachAnner.com. I did. Oh yeah, I didn't have the website because the night I went viral, someone like bought up the website, and then 10 years later, my best friend Andrew got it back for me. So yeah, if you like, hold out hope for inmoderation.com because it might happen. You know,
one day.
You just have to put me in touch with this Andrew guy. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll buy it for you and send it to you on your birthday. But yeah, they can go to zachanner.com, Zach Anner on all the socials or whatever. Or, you know, you can just not follow me. You know, it's fine if you don't. I mean, if I'm not your vibe, I get it. There's a lot of internet out there. But if you... There's a lot of internet. Like, I understand, you know, I'm not for everybody because I'm going to be talking about bidets a lot. And
hopefully more workouts to come gets, you know.
More workouts to come would be, since I'm going to be checking in with Rob for how to do, for my band form, you know, make sure that's all good. And Liam, I won't check in with you at all because you probably are installing some, like, so how about stairs to your high toilet? How about that?
So, yeah, basically our house, you go stairs up, there's stairs to go upstairs, and there's stairs immediately to go downstairs right at our house. So immediately this is just like worst case scenario, yes. And our high toilet.
It's just an Escher painting.
It's just MC Escher, yes. It's MC Escher. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll still cheer on with the Bills for you, who are up 24-7.
Wow. Lee, I really should have watched this game.
Well, it's halfway through. It's you know, we're finishing up here at this second half.
Well, it's because we're recording.
That's
the instant we stop and you guys go watch.
As soon as you start watching, they're just gonna blow it. That's my prediction.
Next week, everybody's gonna know exactly who to blame.
Oh,
wow. Well, go Bills. I think that's the point.
Yes, that's the point. That is 100% the point.
And, you know, remember, wherever you're at in your fitness journey or your personal betterment journey, you're doing fine. You're doing great. You should feel good.
There's always room for improvement, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Everything's fine.
You're fine. You're great. I think you're doing great. If we're doing great, you're doing great. We're doing great.
Yes. I love it.
The bar is on the floor.
Set the bar low.
The bar is in my fridge and it's made of chocolate.
Hey, wasn't that a great time listening to the podcast? You were just, I'm assuming you were just listening to In Moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing.
No.
Yep.
The like button
5
on YouTube.
stars.
If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, not the dislike button. That's a bad button. The like button. Bad touch. Hit all the other buttons. The share. You can go check out
all those things.
Subscribe. Go check out our Patreon. Yeah. We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways. I think sometimes. You know,
sometimes
all that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, peace.